This is the Gables, Lace, and Tails podcast. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. How's it going? As you can see, I did win at Yarn Chicken. I finished my sweater. I'll stand up. This sweater is called the Audrey. It is from the book Only Yoking by Olga Putano. I'll show you. It's a lovely book. I am already planning to make another sweater out of here called the Finley. This was the size 5 in the scheme. She has 10 sizes, as you can see, with the yarn quantities that you would need. The things that I did modify were the sleeves because I did not pay attention to the pattern. If you have remembered from my last podcast, I knitted straight for about 30 rows and then realized, oops, I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to decrease. And then I made up my own decreases to the end. For the cuff and the collar, I used US size 5. Excuse me, it's in the morning and I have just a moment of time to record, and I am all hoarse because I have been talking loudly at work. Anyway, 3.75 millimeter for the collar and the cuffs, but I did not want to be so cinched in on the bottom, so I used a 4 millimeter on the hem. I did 12 rounds of 1x1 ribbing, and then I just bound off in pattern. I thought about doing the Italian bind off, but I just wanted this done. So I thought, well, it's stretchy enough. It's gonna be fine. I blocked this with spray method and steam blocking. I don't know if I did it right, but it seems to be okay. With my steamer, I can't really steam it flat. I can't go like this. It has to be upright. So I did hang it on a hanger. I sprayed it with some water, and then I steamed it as much as I could. I mean, it's gorgeous. I wore it to work. People were like, that is really pretty. And I think someone said, that looks like Christmas. And I'm like, it is my Christmas sweater. It is gorgeous. I love it. It fits really nicely. I got it to the right length that I wanted for my sleeves. So when I go up, it doesn't move that much. Excuse me. However, there's a lot of sickness going on at my job. And at lunch one day, a little girl came up to me and she grabbed my arm over here, and I looked at her. She goes, I puked on my tray. And I was like, oh my God, you're touching my new sweater. Okay, let's get you to the nurse. And then someone else came up and was almost like throwing their food at me. I put chocolate milk in my noodles. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. Go talk to them, because I'm the person that does the computers and they needed to talk to the cooks. Anyway, enough school stories. So I love it. I'm so happy it's done. I can't wait to make another. The next one I'm going to make is going to be in the DK weight, but I have a sport weight. I've already done a gauge swatch for it. And it's called the Finley. I'm trying to find it here. This is the yoke. I can get it so it's not shiny. It's beautiful. I have decided to do it in 2 different colors. This is, let me back up. The wool I used for this sweater was from Knit Picks, wool of the Andes. Each 50 gram ball was 110 yards, okay? My next sweater, the Finley from here, excuse the sprinkle, is gonna be out of the Knit Picks Upcycle Alpaca Blend, which is a mixture of alpaca, acrylic, and wool. 33% acrylic and alpaca and 34% wool. It's a very soft, really, really beautiful yarn. I don't know if you can see the twist, but it's really beautiful to work with. So this color, which will be the contrast color, is called Sea Glass. Each 100 gram ball comes with 273 yards. This is a discontinued yarn. You cannot get this anymore, but I bought a lot of it when it was on sale. And then the other color is going to be Sapphire. And I think those 2 colors are just striking together. It'll look really pretty. And I don't have a blue sweater, so yay. And I have more than enough to make this pattern. In fact, it calls for a little less than 6 skeins of the blue and less than 1 skein of the sea glass gray, the light gray. And I have 4 of the gray and 7 of the blue. So I have more than enough, no yarn chicken at all. Now, I am going to kind of go through this quickly because I only have so much time before I have to go to work, and I really have a lot to say. I have been moving and a grooving. I have been working my fingers to the bone. I'm just looking. Yeah. I want to show you what I have left over from my, this is it. This is all the red I have. So together it would probably be about a half a skein, okay? So if I ever have a hole, or I can use this for some other type of color work, but I would like to keep at least this much just in case of repairs down the road. What if I'm working at work and something happens and I snag something? Well, now I have yarn to fix it, which is what I like. I like having a little bit of extra just in case. My grandparents grew up in the Depression, or yeah, and they just knew you always had to have a prepared list of things. So my next thing I have on my list, socks. I didn't even touch them because I've been so busy working on the next thing I'm going to show you. What is this monstrosity? Oh, I have a cat down here, and she, Tallulah, wants to say hello. Hello, Mama. I see you have yarn, and I want your yarn. No, Tallulah. But, Mama, you have these little strings, and I like little strings, and I like the little balls that you have on your yarn, and it's so nice. Okay, so I also blocked, you can't, I mean, it's becoming a sweater and it's very similar in color and stuff. There, you can see that kind of nice. So I wet blocked this. I soaked this for a half hour in my wool soap. I did not have enough. I thought I would have enough room on my blocking mats. I only have 9. And I was only really able to block 3 pieces out, which was the 2 fronts and a sleeve. And then I kept the back and the other sleeve moist. I had them wrapped in towels, you know, and so I just kind of kept it like that. And the next day I then put those out. I sprayed them again, pinned them out, and I had to do it. I had to do the back, and then after that was dry, I had to do the sleeve because I just didn't have enough room on my blocking mats. Yes, I've thought about getting more, or just do it in stages from now on. It worked out fine. I thought I was gonna have to reblock them, but it's working out fine. So yesterday I sewed up the shoulder seams in that invisible join. So you take a stitch from either side and you just kind of make a like a duplicate stitch over. And then way into the evening and late night, I sewed in the set-in sleeve. So you really can't tell because I'm looking in my camera here, my screen, and I mean, you can kind of tell. When I block this again, I think the puckering will, you know, flatten out. And because it did sew on my acrylic sweater. Next, I will sew up the sides and the sleeves, and then I'll work on the button band and collar. I'll probably do the collar first. That's what it says in the pattern. I have a cat here who has big black eyes, and she wants this so badly. And let's see, what else? I learned some new techniques. The shoulder seam, I used this book. I mean, I've seen stuff online, and I looked online how to do it, and I mean, I can learn stuff from screens easily. We always do. It's, you know, TV or computer. But after a long day, I don't want to sit there and try to scroll through something. I want just to look at a book. So I learned about this book, I think, from Roxanne Richardson. She's a wealth of knowledge, master knitter, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I learned about this book. I looked on Amazon and then I looked at thrift books. It was cheaper on thrift books. I think I got, at thrift books you can get anywhere from new to acceptable. And I think this was a good because it didn't have the outer cover. Sometimes you get a library book. Originally, this is about 20 years old, and it was originally $40 at that time. I don't know what it would be new now because things are very expensive. However, as you can see, I have things bookmarked. And for example, it gives you a little blurb on how to do the seaming, what it looks like, and then a picture. I love this book. I looked at it, I said, all right, well, I'm gonna do the mattress stitch on stockinette stitch, and then I did, what is it called? A whip stitch around the they call it overcasting, but I basically whip stitched the sleeves, and that's what I'm gonna do for the sides and the underarm, because it's quick. You're not gonna really see it as much as, like, say, the shoulder, and so I'm excited. I am raring to go. I really want to get this sweater done because it has been almost 2 full years of it being on the needles. So I do plan on putting buttons on it. So I'll have to figure out how many buttons, what size buttons, and all that. I do not have those picked out at this time. Now, let's go on to my Lopi sweater. I am trying to be streamlined here today because I do have to get ready for work soon. But I had this moment in time. Now, there it is. This has just become my, I don't know what to do, but I gotta do something to think things through. Ow! I tell ya, she likes these little balls and she just got me. So I made about 3 inches of progress. You can see my little stitch marker there. Right now it's just moving up and just in the round. This is my second skein. I'm close to being done with it. I would say it's about a quarter left. It is getting softer and softer. The more I work with this, the better it is. When I first started, I was having like some reactions. Like one of the long, can you see in the view? One of the long hairs like got in my eye and I was all itchy and I thought, oh no, is this a good thing? Will this be a good thing? Like Martha Stewart always used to say, it's a good thing. And so I said, oh. It reminded me of my cat Sasha. Sasha was a stray we found outside, and the greasy the cat gave up. We thought it was a female for 5 years. So now I'm going to refer to him as a he, but we used to think that it was a she. We learned the hard way. He showed us. He was declawed, so the vet said the cat's fixed. So we didn't have to worry about spaying or neutering. Like I said, found in our backyard, and when we did it in stages because we had a cat. So he lived on our 3-season porch and then moved to the vet for a week just to make sure of diseases and, they could do tests on him, and then moved to the home. So when he got to our house, he was still kind of greasy because he was so stressed. He was so like, oh, and I was petting him and some of his fur got in my eye, and it just like, I've never had an allergic reaction to any cat. And I had an allergic reaction and I got the hair out of my eye. And then as I thought, oh no, am I allergic to this cat? No, it was whatever was on his fur. So I use that same logic. Am I allergic to this wool? No, you're not used to it. And you got something in your eye. Of course, it's going to be irritated. You'll be fine. And ever since then, I'm fine. It's actually getting less scratchy to me. So that's wonderful. Now, I know I'm rushing. I can feel I'm rushing. But I really want to talk about my cable cardigan. I have finished one sleeve. Let me get it down. Now, last time I showed you, it was not sewn together and I hadn't finished the first sleeve. So last weekend, it was really, really cold. I finished the first sleeve. Whoa. And then I put it off to the side and I thought about it and I'm like, how did I do this, the top part of the sleeve? Because I had notes, but the notes weren't making sense at the time because it's been so long and I had to like rethink about what I did. And then I said, well, why don't I just sew up the pocket and the shoulder seams? So here's the pocket because it's all like monochromatic. I'm just going to show you. I sewed up the back. I just whip stitched it in. This was the first time I used the invisible seam. And I matched up the cable. Can you see? I matched up the cable pattern really well. This is my first seam. I was like, I did these two things and I was like, woo! Energized! So then I did this pocket. There we go. Then I'm going to show you the inside. Really nice. Now, I don't think you can like put like, say, a walkie. I have a walkie-talkie that I use at work. I don't think I could put a walkie-talkie in this without it being like really stretched out. I wouldn't want to put my keys in that. But if I had like, say, chapstick, and I don't think it would fit my phone. You know, I know my phone would fit in there, but I don't know with the weight of it. I don't want this to be stretched out. I think this would be more like, oh, I have a hair tie in here. Oh, I have my chapstick, blah, blah, blah. So I did those. There's the other seam. I was really proud. I was like, what? I did it! So then I looked at my notes and then I realized, I said, you know what? You're just going to have to do it. That's how you're going to remember. You're not going to remember until you do it. So I started doing it. You pick up from down here and you knit all the way around and then you start up here again and you put stitch markers in various spots. I kept all of the stitch markers where I decreased. You can see the blue, the orange, and the purple. I kept them all on this side so I can reference. So I started doing it and it worked. And now I'm done with the working of the German short rows. You're supposed to do wrap and turns, but I like German short rows better. And because I did German short rows plus one stitch, my stitch count was off, so I had to redo the decreases. So there's that. You work about here, flat, back and forth, back and forth. And then doing the sleeves, I am using these 4 square, can you see? 4 square needles. They have a nice pointy tip. They're wood. They are very smooth. And this is, so the cuff, what did I do? For the bottom hem, I did size 8. And then I think I went down to a size, this is a size 10 for the body of the sleeve. Size 9 for the main part of the sweater. So let me think. So the hem was done in 5.5 millimeter. No, 5 millimeter. Let me start over. US size 8 is 5 millimeter. So I started with a 5 millimeter on the hem. I worked all the way across the whole sweater And then I changed to a US 9 or a 5.5 millimeter to go up. You make 2 pocket inserts, and then you put them, you keep the live stitches on, and then you put them on hold, and then when you get to this part, you bind off these stitches. At the next row, you add the pockets. It was confusing, but when I did it, it was super easy. So I used 5.5 millimeters all the way up, finished each side. So you work on the right front. Once you get to the sleeve, you break off, put some on hold, and then I worked the right front, the back, then the left front, and you bind off all the stitches at the top. Hello, baby. And then I decided, because I was changing needle brands, I was using Knitter's Pride wood needles for the body, and I thought I only have the really small, the 2-inch Knitter's Pride metal, and I didn't want to use those. I think they were too slippery, and I wanted something to grab this wool yarn. So I was looking at other things, and I really do like these 4 square. I like these almost better than the little 2-inch ones, because the little 2-inch ones, my hands really cramp. That was another reason why I didn't want to use them. And then I looked at the needles together, and the size 9 Knit Picks 4 square looked smaller than the Knitter's Pride. Even though, they're supposed to all be the same, but it looks smaller. And I also prefer a loose sleeve. I don't want to be tightly bound up here because it just drives me insane. So I went up to a size 10, which is a 5.5 millimeter on the sleeve. I already tried this on. I'm not going to try it on now because that'd be way too hot. And this sleeve fits good. It's at the right size. I love it. So I'm going to just do the exact same for the second sleeve, and then I do the shawl collar. Now, I may have made this too big. I'd rather have something too big than too small. And it's supposed to have buttons, but if it's just a little too big after blocking, I don't want to block it until I put the shawl collar band on, and I don't know if I will actually put buttons on this. I kind of want to. I may, just for the simple fact of learning how to do it from this pattern, because they do have specific instructions for that. I will definitely have more than enough yarn. I had total 6 skeins of this, and each skein is 100 grams, and it comes with 465 yards. Yes. And it's the Fisherman's Wool in the color Natural Oatmeal. I really like it. I can't wait to make more stuff out of this kind of yarn. So that's that. I'm not going to show you my dishcloth because I just kind of do that when I feel like it, when I'm waiting. And that's about it for today. I'm just going to keep this at a shorter length because I do have other projects in the work, other projects I want to do. But I only have so much time and I got to get to work. So thank you so much for stopping by, watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Excuse me. I need to drink some coffee. I did have my coffee nearby, but my cats were being sassy. Come here. Don't you want to say hello? Yeah? Do you hear her? Come here. Chirpy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come say hello. Come say hello. You want to see something? Do you want to see? Do you want to play? Here. Oh, Mama. You bring out the yarn and I just love it so. Oh. So nice. Am I trying to go fishing for a kitty? Are you going to scratch me? Please don't. Come here. Oh, one kitty will say hello. The others, nope. She says, I do not want to say hello. Hello. All right. Thanks for watching. Hello. Oh, now the other one's jealous. She's sitting over there. Thanks for watching. This is Sue from the Cables, Lace, and Tails podcast. I hope you all have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine. It is presently -13, feels like, and temperature like. So it'll be indoor recess again, and I will be so bored. I prefer to be outside. It just makes it a lot easier, and I don't know why. It's a common thread for us workers. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care and have fun. Bye for now.